We're back. Endangered Orphans. We just played 2 games.
Yeah, I'll probably leave it so gameplay, they're both back-to-back.
See them back-to-back, because it's definitely really quick. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't know how the game would go 30 minutes if you had, maybe with 2-player. Because we did have.
Yeah, I think the 2-player, it was.
You could have gone back and forth a little bit, but regardless, it doesn't matter. It's pretty quick. Jeb, your thoughts?
I enjoyed it. I feel like it's a decent filler kind of game. When I saw the size of the box when I got it in the mail, I was like, oh, this might be like a long game or something like that. But no, it's really quick, and I don't know if I guess the box kind of does. Everything fits. I don't know if you could have made it smaller, but that doesn't matter.
Well, don't forget there's that whole space that looks like it's for cards, and we didn't buy any of the extra packs.
That's true.
So kind of wish I would have bought some of the extra packs.
Yeah, I'd like to know how that stuff affected.
But
like
we didn't.
Just tossing in or whatever.
This one we took a shot at, and to be honest, I think both of us took a shot at it because the Kickstarter and these guys that wrote up this game is absolutely hilarious. Like 50% of me back in the game was because that's funny. I don't even care if the game's good.
Yeah, like even their updates were just
they were awesome. It was really, really funny. My impression of the game, I thought it was really cool. A lot of fun. I like games where you're laughing and and like no, and then there's that element of the boogeyman coming out, and you're like, if you can get somebody to have to pick that card,
forcing people to do it,
forcing
really
people
fun.
to have to do the draw of that card is really good, and then getting bummed out if you get a card that didn't help refill your deck, or
if you do something stupid
like Jeb did,
and then that rule that's like if you take your hand off, that's it.
And that really, I like. It's half joking, but it actually really is a rule, and it's actually really good because it makes it hilarious, and if you can't backtrack, shame on you, because it makes the game good. Yeah. Keep that rule. Don't let people take their hand back. Plays in 10 minutes, you can play again.
Yeah.
So I think you can tell that we both like the game. It's not a heavy game or anything like that, but let's just jump into some things that were not so good.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Guys, the rules left much to be desired. I know it's not a hard game, but we did have to make some judgment calls on some stuff. So if you ever watch this video, and I think some of the questions are probably already up, with as well and as funny as you wrote everything on the Kickstarter and the updates, you could have been a little clearer on the rules.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded a little...
Just dealing the cards. Deal out all the option cards so it's an even number. Or just tell us, whoever gets the extra cards gets screwed. Yep. That goes with the game, so it would have been okay, but we didn't know. And a couple of area cards would have been nice to know. How does highway work? How does...
I think the placement of the locations, that could be clarified a little bit more.
We're pretty sure we got that right.
Yeah.
There was, I think there was, cemetery. We're pretty sure we got that right.
Cemetery and highway are the ones that are like, if you pass through, then that happens, is what we assume.
The ship card in the option decks, we're pretty sure that you guys intended us not to go to a draw phase if our turn totally ended. Yep. If we got anything wrong, we'd love for you to point it out.
Right.
That was probably our biggest complaint. Components we thought were really awesome. Whoever you guys used on the cards, though, Jeb had some. It looks like maybe the blade was dull on the cards or something. A little chipping around the edges.
When I got the pack of cards, it looked like some metal piece had indented 3 or 4 cards that were on top of that deck. So I don't know if that was like a machine printing mess.
And I could see a little bit, and we only played twice, but I could see a little bit of places that might have started coming up. I like the game. It'll probably end up being sleeved anyways. The quality of the cards was really good, though. It's that that extra texture, almost like the linen. Maybe it is the linen. I don't remember if that was a stretch goal or if that's just what it was. The minis are fantastic. They're so
we
cool
did have
looking.
a question about the why were there just 3 standees with the 4th? Like, I know it was unlocked. The 4th player was unlocked, but
Yeah, but why not just give us the 4th standee too,
Right.
just in case somebody didn't want to use figures, or to have backup in case the dog eats one or something.
Yeah.
That kind of didn't make any sense, but not our call.
Right. We weren't the ones who made the game. We're just playing it.
So yeah, that didn't really make too much sense to us about why the standees were only 3 instead of 4.
Not a huge thing, but it would have been cool if there were some more of the Cove cards, but instead of playing with all of them, you like take 4 or 5 out,
Maybe
just for more variety.
Maybe that's why we were supposed to buy those expansion packs.
That's true. Okay, I'll stop talking because I sound like an idiot.
Not really. It might have been nice in the base game
Right.
being able to have a little bit extra too. I will say at this point, I'm a little bit sorry I didn't go farther into the Kickstarter to
Same
get
here.
those.
I would have liked at least one to see what it was like.
As soon as they hit someplace on the internet or my local game store or something, I will be picking up those packs to put in here. It was that good, even though the stuff that we complained about, I don't think it broke the game. It's just, it's kind of disappointing when you get a game, you're excited to get it to the table, and some things that we thought should have been basic, or maybe to you guys when you wrote your rules, it made sense to you, but don't forget, there's people that have no clue what's going on, probably don't even follow the Kickstarter after they back it, wait for a game to show up, take it out, and if the rules don't make sense, it can be difficult. I'm pretty sure most of your audience probably was able to figure it out, but people that look at it on the shelf, look at all the humor you put on the box and buy it and then bring it home, it might be a little disappointing. So, enough of that, because there's way more good in the game.
A lot of good stuff.
Way more good that outweighs the stuff that we had to struggle with. As a matter of fact, I thought it was funny enough that I'll probably try the solo at one point just to see how it plays.
I wanted to try it to see how that works out.
Obviously you won't have the humorous interaction with your buddies and everything, but I am curious, especially since that Boogeyman statue's so cool.
Yeah.
Just to take him out and be able to use it.
I think for solo, it's mostly like trying to run from the Boogeyman, so it's more of like you're trying to...
So he's moving around the board?
Yeah, he's moving around, and you're trying to stay away from him, because if he ever gets to your spot, you lose.
Oh, okay.
So it's like you're running from the Boogeyman. And that
which is
makes sense.
which is very cool.
But yeah, I mean, even though we did say some stuff that we didn't like, I still think there's a lot of good...
Yeah, it wasn't game breaker. It's just, I mean, it was like, some of this stuff, and both Jeb and I had the same thought process in it. It's like the rules are just weird until you read it yourself.
Yeah.
You won't really know, and hopefully, like I said, hopefully we got everything, or at least the majority of stuff right. So if you watch the gameplay and you watch the setup, you can have a really good time with it. And since it's not an in-depth game, making those house rules or coming to a conclusion however you want, even if we would have gone a different direction, the game still would have been fun.
Yeah, and plus, like you said, it's such a short game. It's not like, if you mess up on one rule, it's like, I just wasted an entire day playing it. No, it's like 10 minutes.
Right.
So.
And I'm sure that there'll be clarification with it shortly. Like I said, I literally got this Thursday. You got yours Friday, I think is what it was.
Yeah, I got mine the day after.
Something like that. Maybe it was Wednesday, Thursday. Doesn't really matter. And these things are up on the internet, so that Thursday and Friday will mean nothing to you by the time this gets posted.
Yeah, today's Sunday, so in reference to when we got it. In reference to when we got it, it's
we've only had this for a couple days.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
I like all the messing with your opponents, how you force them to move, and you can set that up to be in certain locations to mess with them. Stealing cards, I like that you can steal cards from the hand, you can steal from the deck. There's one that takes cards from their discard pile to put in your deck. Everything is just like, it's manipulating everything, and it's really fun.
And there's always a possibility that somebody has something to block your move.
Yes, the blocking cards.
So, that's really cool too. So, is this their first game? Certifiable?
I don't know.
I think it is.
I thought it was, but I could be wrong. I didn't look into the background and stuff. So.
And then I think they did something like a book or whatever, and now they have Who Goes There is up currently.
Oh yeah, they're the ones who does Who Goes There.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
which we're backing.
I have it backed right now. I don't know if Jeff
can
stay in or not or whatever. And after playing this, I'm in with you guys all the way because hopefully you do a really good job on that one too. So good job to Certifiable Studios. And again, we don't know. It's probably in the rule book somewhere. Yeah.
The designer. So things to remember when you're playing the game. We should probably do that.
First 2 phases are optional. That's a big one.
One thing I kept forgetting is drawing is at the end of the turn. But that was just me, I guess, forgetting that. But it is it's a game where you draw at the end of your turn, not at the beginning. So.
And until you've played some games like that, that definitely is easy to forget. That's not a brand new mechanic. There are some other games out there escaping me at the moment. I can't think of one off the top of my head,
Most
but
deck
I know.
builders are draw at the end of your turn.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Another thing was
It's not really
the number
a
of
builder, I guess.
So the number of cards in your play phase when you end that and go into your draw phase, just make sure that you have enough cards so you're not going over the 4 cards in hand. It didn't happen to me because I only had like 1 or 2 cards.
Well, we had played a couple times and we had some, but Michael actually did it once. He must either we didn't tell him when we started the game, or he forgot right away that you can't have more than 4 cards during your draw phase. So try to make a habit of between your playing cards phase and your draw phase that you look at your hand and see if you are able to with either, oh, if I draw a cove, I'm okay, whatever, that you can fulfill the whole requirement of the draw phase without going over the 4-card limit. Because if you can't, you must play something in your hand, whether or not it hurts you or has no effect, but you have to get rid of something. Yep. And that really can change the game because...
There was that one card that says end your turn, so if he had played that, then...
Right, which actually we told him to take back because he wasn't putting two together. Right. He plays cards, so he would have got that after a couple plays. But anyways, we were just trying to be fair because we yanked him down here to record.
Yeah, but this is another one of those games where it's like, it can be new people to games. You just bring them down, you walk through the game once, then everything kind of clicks, and then you can play another one, and it's only 10 minutes, so you're not... Like, they're not going to be like, man, this is taking forever. I don't know what I'm doing for an hour.
You know, and another impressive thing was that the majority of the option cards, except for, I think, that ship one, everything was very clear on what you did. We didn't run into anything on, what do you do now, or how does that resolve? Everything
I really like, because it's like,
this
draw
is exactly
4 cards,
what you do.
Take 4 cards from your discard, put them into your deck. I really appreciate that because you're not sitting there trying to figure out what's the order. And I'm pretty sure
it was also in the rules that if you can't do something, then you can't do it.
Right.
I mean, you play the card, and if you got to do as much as you can, and then move on. So, anyways, I don't have very much more to say other than, like I said, I thought the game was awesome. I think it was funny, and I love the artwork. Another style of artwork that I just think is funny. So
it's fun when you're playing and you like see somebody suffering from like what you did to them and stuff. But I guess that's kind of the warped sense of humor thing. So anyway, let us know if we made any mistakes or if you found any rulings. Like we said, it's only been a couple days, so we don't have too much information out there.
Yep.
Give us some suggestions, likes, subscribe, any of that stuff. Check us out. And
until next time.
Yeah, until the next game. See ya.
See ya.
Boards and booze. Booze and boards. With Mickey and Jeb. I don't know what would be a funny thing.
I got nothing.
Me neither. I don't want to say something like...
Hey, do you want to kill kids today?
It'd be awful.
You gonna put that in the bloopers?
Kids are gonna die today.
Hey, they're the ones that had the warped sense of humor, not us.